This episode was pre-recorded in July of this year, 2022. We were hoping to release it the first week of August, but there were some time-sensitive current event issues that had come up. So we pushed it to today. Today is the day we will be talking about our youth group, Young and Gathered, with a very special guest. Without further ado, let's get it going.
Good morning. It is the first Monday of August. A great hot day to just sit back, relax, and listen to the Dear Church podcast. Today we will have a guest host, me, your very own Calvin Jang, and I will be interviewing our very own Mr. Sam Yang. You are listening to the newest episode of the Dear Church podcast.
That was good. That was nice. I like that one.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Welcome to the Dear Church podcast, where we exist to fill your ears and your minds with the study of God to see the world as disciples of Christ. My name is Calvin Jang, and we have with us Mr. Samuel Yang.
Hello.
How are you today, Mr. Sam?
I'm fantastic. This is actually very new for me. This is weird.
Yes, very new for you. So today we will be talking about the Young Gather Ministry, which is our youth group ministry. So before we start, why don't you introduce yourself?
Thank you. It's not like I've been on this podcast before. My name is Sam Yang. I'm a staff member here at the Church Gathered and Scattered, and I am the director of education here, which means that I'm not overseeing, but I guess I just kind of lead the children's ministry and the youth group ministry, of which both of us are a part of. Let's see. What else? What other questions do you have for me, like in terms of introduction? Any fun ones?
So I wanted to get into some of the questions for Young Gathered.
So no introduction questions. Okay.
Yeah, no. First, why Young Gathered? Why the name? And couldn't you think of a cooler one?
How about this? Why don't I give you 30 seconds?
To do what?
And you think about a cooler name than Young and Gathered. Go.
Youngins are bussin'. Wait,
so,
are we going to keep that in?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the name that you would go with are Youngins are bussin'.
No. Youngins are buggin'. Yeah.
No, it doesn't have to be Youngins. Like, it doesn't have to be anything Y. But if you had to think of a name in 30 seconds of a youth group, what would it be? Just go. Like,
I already said it then.
Youngins are bussin'?
No, actually, no, that doesn't go well.
I mean, it's like Yab. What would you say?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, so the reason why, well, first of all, for our older audience, what does bussin' mean, Calvin?
Bussing?
Yeah, like.
It is a Gen Z term that means it is very good, outstanding, on another level.
It means excellent, right? It's like, yo, those fries are bussin'.
Yeah.
But people don't even say that anymore.
Yeah. It's like it's not a verbal thing.
It's an adjective. Yeah. Okay. Well, the reason why we chose the name Young and Gathered, thank you for the question, is because when we think about our church name, the Church Gathered and Scattered, we are teaching something. We're teaching that the church is a people that is gathered for corporate worship and scattered throughout the week. I think there is this common misconception that you are only a Christian on Sundays, which is not true. You are also the church that is scattered throughout the week. And so we thought that a youth group ministry that gathers together on Fridays, it would be cool if we called it Young and Gathered, which happens to be YG, which happens to be the acronym for youth group. We called it Young and Gathered because we're a ministry that gathers on Friday and is also young. Some of us not as young, but I actually did not think of that name. I wish I had, because it's such a creative one, but it wasn't me. I think it was our very own Christine Park. Yeah, we had some other names, like I think she also wanted like Little Bears or something, or La Cubbies or something like that, and that was a hard pass. Brian wanted, what was the name that you wanted, Brian?
Testify.
No, but I thought you made suggestions. Like little philosophers. Oh, I think there was like young theologians or something like that, but that was also a hard pass. And Young and Gathered. We are young and we gather together to worship. And so that's what we are called, Young and Gathered.
Okay, very nice.
Did you know that, by the way?
What?
That was why we called it Young and Gathered?
No.
Okay, well,
It's kind of common sense, so yes. But
yes.
okay. What is the purpose of our youth group? I realize that our youth group is modeled a little differently than the youth groups that many of us may have grown up with. So, what is the purpose, and why is our youth group modeled this way?
Another excellent question.
Written by me.
Written by you, yeah. So the purpose of our youth group is there's a couple different, I guess, purposes. It's to join together as like-aged people, people in similar life stages, like whether you're in high school or in middle school. It's to fellowship together, but most importantly, it is to prepare our youth to worship in the main congregation. That is the purpose of our youth group. You want to equip and strengthen, encourage our young people, the youngest people in our main congregation, to worship with the adults. And it is modeled a little differently. I think a lot of the churches that we have grown up in, we have a separate youth group with a separate service, a separate pastor that preaches a different sermon. But, as I was thinking through just this youth group with Pastor Eugene and under his guidance, it's if we do something like that, that's really two services. That's really two different churches. If you have a different pastor preaching a different sermon, even if it's on the same passage, that's two different churches that are gathering together, two different congregations. And so there is the importance of worshiping together as one congregation, as one church. And the purpose of our youth group is Fridays to uh, review the sermon. As you know, a lot of our time together is reviewing the sermon. And so it's all to equip us to listen to the sermon better, to apply the sermon better, and to be able to be full participating members of the adult congregation. And so that's really the purpose of our youth group, to equip our young ones to be able to do that. Um, yeah, so I mean that's the purpose of it, and that's why our youth group is modeled in this way, is for that purpose of all worshiping together as one congregation.
Mm. Do we absolutely need a youth group? Is it essential?
Do we absolutely need a youth group? I think, we talked about this 2 weeks ago with the college ministry and the men's ministry. Um, I guess it's not something that we absolutely need, right? If we're going to say, oh, what are the bare bones? It's not something that we absolutely need, but we have the capacity, we have the leadership, we have the kids. And so why not? This is such a helpful ministry for our young ones to be able to, have fellowship together, to review the sermon together, and to just kind of grow together as well. And so it's not an absolute need, but it's a very helpful supplement. We have four wonderful youth group teachers, and something that we always talk about is the fact that we, as a youth group ministry, we are a supplement. We are a supplement, and the primary teaching comes from the pulpit and in the home, and we are a supplement because we are reviewing the things that are taught in the pulpit and in the home as well. And so, do we absolutely need a supplement? No, but is it very, very helpful? Yes. Is it a useful tool? Absolutely. And so it's not something that we absolutely need, but it is definitely helpful to have.
What are we currently going over in youth group? Do we have like a curriculum or a book to follow or to guide us?
This would be a good place for us to talk about what we do in youth group. So in the 4 or 5 Fridays that we have per month, 3 of them we have for sermon review. And so, like I said before, we review the sermon from the previous Sunday. We have little questions and guiding discussion questions that we go over together in smaller groups to make sure that we're understanding what is being preached on Sunday. And this is to also encourage the students to take notes. And a lot of you guys take notes, if not all. And so we want our kids to be engaged in the sermon, to listen to the sermon, to understand the sermon. And so we want to make sure that that happens, which is why we do sermon review 3 times a month. One of the weeks we also do like a current events. So far we've gone through the LGBTQ movement. We've gone through transgenderism. We've gone through even different questions of like, why do we sing the songs that we sing? I know one of us asked before, how come we only sing old people songs with thee and thou and thy? And so we answer that question. Also, we will be talking about, actually by the time this podcast is released, we will have talked about the importance of baptism and confirmation, because we want our kids not to be forced into the schedule of like, oh, once you're 13, that's just what you do. You become baptized or confirmed. But we want our kids to make that decision on their own with the guidance of their parents, with the prayers of the church, to come to that conclusion themselves that they should be baptized or that they should be confirmed. And so we will be going over that topic as well. So that is kind of like our schedule. And the final week, the 4th or the 5th week, we have an outing. So far, we've gone to Humdingers like 3 times. Twice.
Once.
Wait, no, we've gone twice, dude.
We went once.
I promise you we went twice.
I promise we went once.
Maybe you weren't there the first time. Because I've been there way too many times.
No, but it was the one and only time, so I was there.
No, you weren't, because we hit the batting cages the time you were there. We went bowling the time you were there. The time before that, we didn't do those things.
I remember going bowling and the batting cages.
Yeah, the second time.
That was the first time.
No, that was the second time. I promise you. I literally have it written down.
Okay.
So we've been there. What else did we do? We've gone bowling. We've had a game night. What else did we do that's like extracurricular?
We were gonna go, what was it? It was like snow something, but then it got
We were
canceled.
going to go
like
snow
5 times.
tubing. Yeah, it got literally canceled like 2 weekends in a row, 3 weekends in a row. So we ended up scratching that. But yeah, we have a 1 week per month where we just want to go out and have fellowship outside, whether it's snow tubing, which we didn't do, whether it's humdingers, or whether it's hopefully maybe even catching a Yankees game this year. Anything like that we want to do together as a ministry. So that's something fun that we also do as well. We don't have a specific curriculum. However, we have a mentorship program, which we actually had to re-evaluate this couple past weeks. And so we're doing it a little differently. But we will be going over the Westminster Shorter Catechism together in groups of 2. Actually, you didn't know this.
No, I did not.
In groups of
Spoiler
2.
alert.
We'll be going through the Westminster Shorter Catechism with the teachers. And so I think one of the benefits of having, right now we only have 7 kids and we have 5 teachers. And so I think one of the benefits of that is we can do these like very intensive, not even one-on-ones, but it's going to be 2-on-1 now. But we could make sure that we are giving the utmost care to our kids. And so we'll be doing Westminster Shorter Catechism with our children, with our students. And so it's going to be exciting. Very, very exciting.
Mm-hmm. What events can I look forward to as a youth group member?
Can you look forward to?
Yes.
What events do you want to do? You tell me, man.
Well, as you know, I'm not very picky. Whether it be food or events, I guess.
That's true. All right, fine. Give me one thing. What do you want to do? Like, really? Let me ask you the questions. Because that's normally what I do here anyway. And all of a sudden, you come up in here asking me all these questions.
What events would I want to...
Yeah, what do you want to do?
Honestly, I just like talking. Like, if we just talk with each other and just have fellowship, it'll be nice.
You know what's so interesting, Calvin? I think when we first started doing sermon review, I wasn't sure if our students would like it or even appreciate it or want to come. Because if you're in middle school or high school, you just kind of, want to play and play video games or just hang out or whatever. But what I've noticed is that the students in our youth group actually enjoy doing it. They come week after week to talk about the sermon. They come week after week to just talk about the Bible. And it's kind of crazy amazing to me that that's the culture that we have, by God's grace, that kids are excited to talk about the sermon, excited to talk about the Bible. And, you guys take notes, and it's just really, really exciting for me to witness that and to be a part of that as well. What events can I look forward to? Well, we had a summer retreat recently. How did you like the summer retreat?
It was exciting.
Okay, tell me, what is one thing that you enjoyed from the summer retreat that we had in June?
Well, I think we grew a lot together. We would talk to 3 a.m. just talking about
You guys talked till 3 a.m.?
Yeah.
That's insane. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes. Period.
That's it. Yeah, we had our summer retreat last month, or actually 2 months ago now, in the month of June. And I think, you know, one of the biggest things that we wanted to emphasize, and one of the biggest things that we do want to currently emphasize as well, is the importance of the family. So we had family worship the last night where we invited all the families together. And the families worshiped together, and the families actually broke off into their family units and prayed together. And for me, that was my favorite part because I think it reflected what the family is doing at home and what they should be doing at home. And so it was a beautiful thing for me to see. I didn't cry though. Did you cry during that?
No.
I saw you praying.
Yeah, but I didn't cry. Maybe my mom did.
When's the last time you cried?
Why would I keep track of that?
You don't keep track?
Of when I cried? No.
Hmm. Sounds like a crybaby a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to take that out. I'm going to take that out. So we had a retreat this past summer, which was awesome. I think events to look forward to. We will be we'll be having another retreat in the winter. We'll have barbecues coming up this summer. We only have like a month and a half. Barbecues, like I said before, perhaps a Yankees game, maybe even laser tag, stuff like that. I wanted to go karting, but I think you
It's
guys
illegal.
can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, even things like that, I'm very very excited about. Our mentorship program, which we'll be continuing to do with the Westminster Shorter Catechism, I think that's very very exciting as well. What other events are there? Did I tell you anything that I'm not remembering right now?
No.
Maybe
No.
even Six Flags. Do you like Six Flags?
It's okay.
That's crazy. What is like exciting in your life?
I like sports.
Maybe we'll have a sports day. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of events that are going to be happening that you can look forward to. But I think what is most important is the week to week sermon review that we will be doing every month. I think that is the most exciting for me because, as you understand, the preaching of the Word of God is primary, and the fact that we can kind of digest and study and reflect on it together as the Young and Gathered ministry, I think that's what's just the most exciting for me. So yeah, those are the different events that you can look forward to.
Are there any prayer requests that we can join you in praying for this ministry?
Are there any prayer requests? Yeah, there's a couple. I just want to maybe bring up two. I think one, prayer for our students that they would continue to grow, um, that they would continue to love the Lord, that they would continue to love the Word, that they would continue to be obedient to the Word, especially in a world and in a school system that is veering far, far away from God. I think that would be my biggest prayer request, that our students would be able to hold fast to the Word of God and be stable, standing upon the Word of God as they go to school every single day. So that would be one of the prayer requests. The second one would be for our families, that our families would continue to teach well, the parents would be able to lead their kids well, and that we would have great, beautiful times of family worship. Because I think this is extremely important for just the spiritual formation of our children. And so for our kids, for our parents, and actually I have one more, lastly, for the teachers, I think for us to be equipped and to be strengthened, to be able to also, as a supplement, teach our kids and lead our kids and be an older brother and sister figure to our kids. And so I think, yeah, those would be my three for our students, for our parents, and for our teachers. Those would be the three prayer requests.
Well,
Let me ask you some questions. And these are just kind of off the cuff, right? What has been your favorite thing in youth group thus far that we've done?
favorite thing.
Don't answer at once.
What?
What?
Well, I think just, like, for example, last week was the last week where we had game night.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I heard you had a sore throat after you yelled a lot or whatever, but
I did.
I think we really enjoyed it and we really grew together.
Mm.
And I think it's moments like that we remember.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are extremely competitive, and
Very.
it is also because we have 3 sets of brothers in our youth group, and so you guys are very competitive. You didn't like the when we cleaned the church on Saturday?
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Wait, you did the toilets, right?
Yeah, I did the bathroom.
That was good. So yeah, I mean, that and what are you looking forward to the most in youth group? As you have, what you have like 6 years, 5 years left in youth group. So what are you looking forward to the most? Is it serving at VBS this year? Did you know you're serving at VBS this year? I didn't tell you yet, right? Or did I tell you?
Wait, is my dad telling me to, or
Yeah.
yeah? I mean, I think I was gonna do it anyways.
Oh, okay.
But I don't really need volunteer hours.
It's not for volunteer hours, man. It's to serve the Lord.
Yeah, yes, sir. I mean, I guess.
What else are you looking forward to?
I guess the next retreat.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of exciting stuff happening too. Like our next retreat could be joint with other churches as well, which is pretty exciting. And so we're even thinking about doing, our own retreat during the summer and then a joint retreat in the winter, which I think is bussin'. How can you say it, but when I say it, it's funny? How does that make any sense?
Because I'm young. No offense.
No, it's offensive. Yeah. Let's see.
Speaking of other churches, we had a joint church session a couple months ago.
Yeah, praise night.
Yes. When will we have another one?
That's Nanya. No, we're gonna have one. We're gonna have a back to school one in September.
Oh, okay.
Good question. Any more questions? Oh, you know what? Let's talk about you, Calvin. Let's just turn this ship around. What are your top 3 podcasts that you currently listen to?
Are we talking like biblical or non-biblical or in just general?
Just what you're listening to.
So in general.
Yeah.
Ben
what?
Shapiro.
Okay, Ben Shapiro. So you listen to Daily Wire.
Matt Walsh.
Okay.
Albert Mohler.
So I think you need to get out of here, man. You don't listen to this podcast?
Oh my goodness, I forgot.
Okay.
No. You know what? You don't realize?
No,
because I forgot because I don't have the CJS podcast on the podcast app because I listen to it through the app, like the CJS app. So I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to air this one. So those are your top 3. Those are great ones. Daily Wire, the Ben Shapiro Show, Matt Walsh Show, and the Daily Briefing. So what makes you so interested in politics? I'm curious. Because to be honest with you, at your age, I was probably just eating cookies and playing outside. But here you are listening to Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh, who are leading conservative political commentators. So what's the interest? Where's the interest coming from?
I don't know. It's just fun listening. Especially when I'm bored. I get bored a lot. I don't have much to do.
So you listen to political podcasts when you get bored?
Yeah.
That's a good hobby to have. Give me one hot take on a political thing that is happening right now. How do you feel about
AOC getting fake handcuffs?
That was fake?
Yes. You didn't know that?
Oh, I thought she was actually handcuffed because she was protesting, right?
Yeah.
Calvin, any last words? Not last words. Any last thoughts as we close this episode?
No.
No?
No.
All right. Well, how did you like this experience?
It was new. I'm finally the host instead of the listener.
But you don't even listen to this podcast, remember?
No, but I do. I've listened to like 15 episodes.
Wait, we have 105, right?
We have over 100.
That is also because my interest in podcasts started like early this year.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have you back on because you are doing an excellent job.
Thank you.
We thank you for listening to this. Do you want to do that part?
Sure.
Okay.
We thank you for listening to this episode of the Dear Church podcast. We hope and pray that this has been a blessing in your ears. Fight the good fight, finish the race, keep the faith. Peace.
Dude, no, we say peace together.
Peace.
No, wait.
3, 2, 1, peace.
Peace.